Hey everybody, it's Roo-ray. I'm in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, and today, on this glorious morning, I'm going to be taking a lovely bike ride along the entirety of the Paseo Maritimo bike path, in real time and in stunning 4K Hypersmooth. And we're off, starting our real-time Hypersmooth adventure today in PORTIXOL, which is an old fishing village which has kind of been swallowed by Palma. Lots of very expensive apartments and villas, well out of my price range. But yeah, I really like to come down to PORTIXOL with friends. We've got a pretty set in stone routine. We'll come for vermouth, a little aperitivo at a fantastic vermuteria called La Gloria. You must check it out, with a lovely sunny terrace. And then we'll head round the corner to a place we're just about to pass called Las Palmeras, which is a kind of no-frills, family-run, very standard-looking Spanish bar and kind of cafe restaurant place, but they've got a fantastic Sunday menu. A great value. It'll be about 20 euros a head. You'll be able to share some starters, a plato principal of paella, and a postre, a dessert, and beer, wine, coffee, a carajillo if you're crazy, which is a lovely coffee with some military-grade Mallorquin rum thrown in, just to make sure that that siesta happens sooner rather than later. Heading up to the section of the path that sweeps left and goes right round the PORTIXOL marina here. This is what I would describe as storage for normal people's boats. If people like me had a boat, you know, a boat that was worth a couple of grand, I would moor it in here. I think mooring's quite reasonable actually. I think it's probably a couple of hundred to a few hundred a month for a small boat. Steaming round here towards the Palma beach, which is called Playa de Can Per Antoni, but it's called Palma Beach. Don't think about it. Oh, she thought about it. She thought about risking her life there, did that jogger, but I'm bigger, heavier, and moving faster. I am going to win any altercation there, I think. Oh, we've got a couple of Yep. We're gonna have to cut the corner here. You get a lot of that on this bike path, people not looking, stepping out, so you do have to be fairly vigilant. Otherwise, you could take somebody's life away prematurely. That's a nice bar that we've just passed on the left, a great place to come and have a beer and watch the sunset. Fairly pricey, but worth it. And here we are at the beginning of the beach. It's a 750-metre long beach. Oh, hello. That's my girlfriend's twin sister, who I've just randomly met on the bike path. Anyway, hello Begonia, and goodbye Begonia. A nice long sandy beach, nice and deep. There's a lot of space as well right now for volleyball, sports, whatever people like to do on the beach. A lot of this area is kind of filled up with parasols during the season, parasols for rent, but there's still a lot of space actually. We used to come down here and do workouts with our gym buddies back in the day, and there was loads of space. Hello, what do we have here? An attractive rollerblader. Oh God, I absolutely hate Palma. It's horrible in the warmer months. Up here on the right, the Palma Conference Centre for all your conferencing needs in Mallorca. It is finished, recently finished, although it does look like they've forgotten to put some of the windows in. That's what I think when I pass it. Aggressive overtaking manoeuvre there from the Scotsman. Absolutely masterfully done as we head towards the centre of Palma and about to pass that monstrosity of a building on the right there. It's a brown mirrored abandoned office block, I think, that's been there for years. It's been abandoned, graffitied, with smashed windows for as long as I've been here, and I've been here for years. And I heard a rumour that it was listed, so that's the reason that it's not been torn down, which is a smear on the face of Palma. They should be ashamed, whoever's responsible. An absolute embarrassment. That's prime beach real estate destroyed by that horrific architectural turd. Anyway, ran over. You know you're at the end of Palma's city beach when you come to Anima Beach, which is much like the other place at the other end, although I have to admit I prefer the place that we passed at the beginning of the beach. There's also an extra little bay here that you can't really see on the left. Quite a lot of stray cats for some reason, not sure why, but I sometimes pop down there and hang out. And now we find ourselves on the long stretch that takes us all the way past the cathedral and the Parc de la Mar here. 3 stainless steel chimney things popping up there, not sure what they're for, but they're not particularly nice to look at. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the quality of the water there. It's like glass. It's always like this in the morning. It's 9:30 a.m. when I'm filming this in May, so late spring, and the water is like a sheet of glass at this time. A stunning, warm, breezy day. We're going to get into the slipstream of this lady in blue. She is taking off like Lance Armstrong on performance-enhancing drugs there. We'll stay right behind her. Hello, Valentino Rossi there, taking over, making us both look like slow coaches, and good Lord above, here we go again. On the right, you can see the cathedral come into view, locally known as La Sale, a 12th century Gothic cathedral. And actually, the sea used to go all the way up to the cathedral there, but in the 1970s, they wanted to build this autopista, this sweeping coastal road, and this lovely bicycle path that we're currently enjoying. I'm not sure when they built the bike path, that might be a fake fact. And in front of the cathedral, you've got the Parc de la Mar, which was created in the 1970s to make up for the lost reflection of the cathedral in the sea. That's why they put this big lake in. The fountain here, although no rival to the Bellagio fountains in Las Vegas, is still quite nice. A lovely wide part of the bike path here. Very nice just to chug along and enjoy the view. slipstreaming this high visibility gentleman, passing through yet another chicane. Now, coming to the end of this section of the path, we're going to try an overtaking manoeuvre into space, showing our prowess on the bike paths of Mallorca here. And here we are at the end of this section of the bike path. We've been given a green light, so we pass without looking either way because we like to live life on the edge. We've got the red light here, so we'll slow it down just so we don't have to put the foot down. It's fun to play cycling games like that. On two wheels the whole way. We get the green light, and this is what I like to call Stinky Corner because there is some kind of open drain and I'm pretty confident the sewer passes under. It is not pleasant. 12 months a year, it does not smell good at that corner. So if you're driving, roll your windows up. If you're cycling, hold your breath and pinch that nose. And here we are, arriving at the marina, Port de Palma. This is where you're going to find the big boys and big girls' toys parked up. Look at these beauties. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of euros worth of floating toys. Back onto the bike path, to which is maybe one of my favourite bits here, passing through this lovely manicured garden, this well tended to flora, up alongside these palm trees. I love cycling along this bit. It really reminds me why I absolutely love it here. This is downtown Palma and it's absolutely beautiful here. One of my favourite turns here, long chicane into the left and then sweeping right without barrelling into the oncoming traffic and killing everyone. On my right, the neighbourhood of La Lonja, which is a happening spot, very popular with tourists and locals alike. A lot of good restaurants there. Our favourite joint, Bar Dia. It's a very basic joint, but they do fantastic local dishes and the price is almost laughably cheap. The service is wonderful. You're guaranteed to get a warm welcome and a plate of great food in Bar Dia. Check them out. You'll see on the right here the old city wall, and that sculptural thing right in the right hand corner there, that is sprouting out of S. BALUARD Museum of Contemporary Art, which I would highly recommend checking out. Even if you're not an art fan, they've got a fantastic terrace where you can get drunk and get a suntan, which is the only thing I've ever done up there. There you can see just the little turret there from the edge of the wall. We're in the slipstream of this gentleman that appears to be too big for his bicycle. But we'll take him over and show him who's boss. Don't do it, jogger. There you go. That gentleman was not looking, but luckily we timed it well. We were just ahead of him. And on our right, the neighbourhood of Santa Catalina. A great, very popular and extremely pricey spot to live. One of the coolest neighbourhoods in Palma. When we go there, we tend to head to the market on Saturday afternoon for what's known as El Tardeo, which is just a posh Spanish word for getting drunk and eating loads of food during the day before having a siesta and then going out and getting pissed again on Saturday night. We're back in the slipstream of a delightful young lady on rollerblades. How does this keep happening? We must pass her, just out of respect really. One needs to be a gentleman now and again, and lingering behind attractive ladies on rollerblades for too long, well, it sends the wrong signal, doesn't it? A lovely new piece of the bike path here, and once again on our left, we're passing what I'd call normal people's boats. The less affluent residents of Palma park their boats here. You'll see some slightly bigger ones and some slightly smaller ones. Cycling along here really does give you an amazing sense of just the scale of this marina. It's enormous. Just 2 kilometers of boats, non-stop side-to-side boats. Taking the corner, get off the path, lady. There you go. Hanging a left. Another little restaurant lounge that I've never been into here. Now we'll be dipping down into this torrente. When the tide is high, this fills up, and you'll need to pick your bike up and walk over these stepping stones on the left there. Up we go the other side. And now we find ourselves arriving at what is conventionally known as the Paseo Maritimo. A lot of people refer to this entire stretch that we've been cycling today as the Paseo Maritimo, but this is actually the Paseo Maritimo. Starting around about the Hotel Costa Azul, you've also got the Hard Rock Cafe a little back and to the right there for anybody that wants to relive the 1990s dining experience. I'm not entirely sure who goes to eat there anymore, but if you do go, grab me a t-shirt to add to my Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt collection. Navigating the utilities covers and miniature potholes there for the maximum hyper-smooth experience here. This path is laden with chicanes and into another one with a little dip. And over here on the left, one of my favourite places along this end of the Paseo. Oh, wait a minute, illegal undertaking manoeuvre. This Scotsman has got a serious need for speed. And I tell you what, if you give me some rules to follow, I'm going to break them. I was about to say, there's a lovely place back there to go for beers. They've got picnic tables outside. It's called the Boat House. I highly recommend it. We normally go there for a couple of cañas in the sun, or maybe a cheeky gin and tonic before heading across the road for an authentic Neapolitan pizza at L'Artista. Big shout out to both these places. L'Artista, very great value, very delicious pizzas. I'm kind of sad to say it because we are in the home stretch here, heading past some wonderfully large boats to the left, and I find this bit of the Paseo Maritimo bike path fairly hypnotic. You could quite easily slip into a trance and veer off the path into the water, never to be seen again. A bit of a depressing thought there, but it has crossed my mind. Oh, hello, professional cyclist alert. He is taking no prisoners today on this leisurely bike ride. I'm riding my girlfriend's vintage bicycle with the saddle way too low. I've been getting some funny looks. But as a man who's just reached the ripe old age of 40, I don't care about anything anymore. Least of all, how I appear on a lady's bicycle. We've got some cracking sailboats on the left there, some major yachtage. And it looks like we're going to have to play an impromptu game of chicken with this transit van. Who's going to win? He's going to move first. He's going to move first. He moved, we kind of moved. We'll call that a draw. He moved a wee bit, we moved a wee bit. I think we can all agree he flinched first. Our endpoint today is the Club de Mar, a sea club that I have never had the pleasure of visiting. I'm not sure exactly what happens there. I imagine they've got food and drink. And I do think they've got some kind of evening entertainment, some clubbing activity can be had at the Club de Mar. We will sweep round on this loop-de-loop ending and come to a gentle stop here in front of boats we will never be able to afford. Folks, if you enjoyed today's video, give me a like and leave a comment. Also, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe, it's free. And I pinky promise I'll be back very soon with some more Hypersmooth videos from Palma de Mallorca, Spain very soon. Have a good one, guys.